Greetings and welcome to Make It Make Sense. Today I want to speak on Donald Trump war and drugs in the Caribbean Sea, in the Caribbean in a whole. Many people are quite unaware of Big Pharma and quite unaware of what is really drugs. Okay, and many people are quite unaware that America have always used the same old narrative to divide, rule, and conquer. The same thing when you really understand how they use the Bible to do the same. And the people who's behind America and who is sponsoring and financing all that America does, the place that is referred to as Holy Land, which is basically the unholy land, when you understand the people there and what is their agenda, and how Hitler had a glimpse of their agenda, then you realize where I am coming from. Okay, you see how they murder so much young men who have families just like them, when they could have easily captured their boats and show the world the proof of the narcotics or whatever drugs they have and put them in jail. They could have done that. But they senselessly murdered these people. And the thing is, Donald Trump was not the one doing it. He was giving men instruction to do it, men with family and wife. And I'm saying this to show you how there have never been a fleet of warships and submarines and weaponry, all kind of artilleries, which cost millions and millions of dollars, if not billions of dollars, has ever been used to eradicate drugs. You understand? And so we see America, as usual, being a big bad bully in the West, and believe the Caribbean is like their little backyard. So after they have would have done what they would have done in Haiti, in Central America, and so on, bring down government. I can never forget what happened in Grenada, right in my neighborhood, Grenada. What happened with this man Manuel Noriega and all of these kind of people. You understand? Once you do not subject yourself to be their little puppet, they will find a way to bring you down. Okay? That is why, I will always respect the man from Cuba, Fidel Castro. Okay? And even Hugo Chavez. You understand? People who withstood the big bad bully who using fake or false democracy. Okay? So I'm saying all of this to show you that it doesn't make sense. Okay? And when, like, for example, Trinidad Prime Minister, it's so easy to be manipulated. It tells you about the mindset of the people and how they could be easily bought and how gifts can easily blind them. Like, for example, I'm not going to be afraid or ashamed to say what I'm going to say here. I questioned my mother to know, because my mother lives in Trinidad. And I told my mother, I said, all the people who support this woman, they need to be stoned with shit. And she was one of them. She told me, and when I get the real reason why, because of pension. So, like, for example, my mother and so on, they leave this country and say they're going for a better life. They go to other islands and they go with the same mindset. And fail to realize that the land of opportunity is right between their two ears. And they don't like to listen. And they know everything. Yeah. Okay. But I was able to successfully get her from stop giving her energy to the church system by interpreting a dream for her a certain way that makes sense to her. When she went to her church people and they were mocking her and so on, and she overheard them mocking her and laughing at her and so on. But still, because, this church thing been programming her from a very long time, she'll still, probably look at the internet, do listen to those preachers, those scamming preachers, especially in Africa and those kind of places. But when she stopped, going among, those energies, in the so-called churches, then she started to get some downloads and, and get contact, ancestors, could reveal things to her and so on and all of that. Okay. I'm saying all of that to say, my brother and my sisters, you have to empower yourself. Everything is about the mind. And Trump and America, I have to speak the truth. Right now, it's a weakened empire, and the empire need to be strengthened. And if they come up plain and say, look, we need to strengthen our empire, and this is the way we know from ever since. We kill the native people, we take the land, we conquer. Just be like what Hillary Clinton say. We came, we saw, and we conquer, we took it. You understand? That's just the nature. Okay, that's why the same Israel, which they are fake, okay, these fake Jews and so on, their history and the history of America and so on is the same thing. Okay, and people fail to realize it's the same narrative they read in the Bible, the way how it was interpreted to them. When you understand the Bible's mind science and so on, then you have a better understanding. Okay, so my brother and my sisters, all that they are claiming concerning drugs eradication and so on is all nonsense. It's a grab for power. They want oil, they want minerals, they want rare earth, they want valuable things, they want gold, they want all of these different things, and they're going to get it by any means necessary. While they have you trapped in secular Christianity talking about forgive, when the God that you say you serve can't forgive his own enemy, but you want to forgive. But they never forget Haiti, they never forget even Jamaica, and everywhere that our people withstood colonialism and fight for our freedom and so on, they never forget. But you quick to say, oh, forgive and forget. But my brother and my sisters, I'm saying this, to provoke you to think and to make sense out of nonsense. When they tell you nonsense, you make sense out of it, because they've been using the same propaganda narrative all the time. And so the younger heads might not know the things that America have been doing all around the world. But we are here to remind you, okay? So, with that, Mr. My brother and my sisters, I hope what I say, it makes sense to you and it helps you to think a little bit more, especially if you're a young person that do not know certain things and you're coming to see for yourself, okay, the bold-facedness of this falling, this empire that is falling every day, okay, and getting weaker, okay, and how they've been using propaganda, okay, to control, the people of the West, and how they use, the Bible by interpreting it a certain way, okay, because there's a way I can interpret it to help you to free yourself, okay. That's why I always refer to the Bible as a book of mind science. It's all mind science, bro, okay. So let me say, if this is the very first time that you're listening to me, what I'm saying, if it makes sense to you, if it really resonates with you and you have a subscriber, I'm definitely encouraging you to subscribe, to like, to comment, or to share this video. Also, if you like to follow me on Instagram, you like to follow me on TikTok, you can follow me at Black Mad Guru. You like to get my books, the links are down in the description. You like to become a part of my Free Thinkers University, the link is down in the description. You like to become a part of my Patreon community, the link is down in the description. You want to do a one-on-one, you can reach out to me by way of email. But whatsoever is your desire, my last encouragement is to make sure you check out all of the links that are down below, and definitely let your intuition lead you and guide you into what to do. So with that being said, I just want to say peace, love you all, out.